the purpose of this session is to show simple, real ways social media can be used to earn an income. So basically, what that means is you don't have to spend, you know, 8 hours a day working on your social media presence. It can take, honestly, as few hours or as many hours as you like. The more you put in, the better results you're typically going to get. But even starting with, 30 minutes to an hour a day could definitely, help support you because it is about the journey. I'd rather see you set realistic goals and let's just say work on your social media for 30 minutes a day for 6 months, then work on your social media for 10 hours a day for a week, and then give up. So the more consistent small actions really are, the better. So why this matters. So from my experience, social media is one of the easiest and most convenient tools available to create tons of opportunities. Basically, you don't need to get tons of degrees or certifications or tons and tons of money to start an account. Any of you can literally open up an account on any social media profiles today, if you don't have one already, for zero cost and basically be anywhere in the world. All you need is, an internet connection and an email address, and then you can make accounts within, 5 minutes. And you can use the skills, knowledge, and experiences that you already have. Day in and day out, I make new accounts for clients constantly that have never had accounts before. And it literally takes 5-10 minutes. It is super easy. And again, if you ever want to make your account and you get stuck, honestly, just go into YouTube and type in, how to make an Instagram, how to make a Facebook, and it'll walk you through it step by step, and it's super easy. So definitely utilize tools like that if you can. I do that all the time if I'm not sure how to do something super specific, and it's really helped me. And it could also help you earn a little bit of extra money without having to leave your current job. As stated at the beginning, you could easily spend, 15 to 30 minutes a day working on your accounts if you'd like. So you could do that before work, after work, on your lunch break, whatever is most convenient for you. And it offers tons of flexibility if you have, little kids at home, if you have other responsibilities, your job, your partner, all that kind of stuff. So long story short, social media isn't about fame in my personal experience. It's about access and opportunity. I have a few clients at the moment who have, I'd say, maybe 500 followers or so. And that, of course, does not make them famous by any way, shape, or form. People wouldn't recognize them at the store, but they still do quite well income-wise. Because even if 10% of those 500 followers are reoccurring customers, that could definitely, lead to a very solid side income or full-time income, depending on your current goals and needs. So basically, this workshop is best for people who are working right now and want to earn a little extra money, even if it's just a couple $100 extra a week or a month. It may not seem like that much at the beginning, but it really does add up slowly over time. It's also ideal if you want more financial stability or flexibility. If you have any skills or experiences that you'd like to share. If you're currently a little confused or overwhelmed by social media and know you want to get involved, but you're not 100% sure how, it's a great way to kind of experiment and see what works best for you. It's also ideal if you want clear and practical guidance instead of just, as needed trends, because there are new trends evolving basically every day. There's new stuff popping up all the time. And of course, those are great to know. But in the long term, they aren't ideal because trends come and go. But the basics really do last, a lifetime. And again, just a friendly reminder, you don't have to be an influencer with millions of followers to benefit from having a strong social media presence. So here's how social media actually makes money. So you could do this through services. So if any of you folks watching freelance or consult, you could offer that through your social media. So let's just hypothetically say you are a business coach or a life coach and you're looking for clients. You could advertise that through your social media. Again, even if you have, 100 followers, 200 followers, if you can convert 10 of those into clients, that could really benefit you for whatever freelancing or consulting you offer. And then having products, again, is fantastic because you don't actually have to set aside time out of your day to, do the coaching consulting. If you have a service, you could just sell the products literally when you sleep. So, for example, let's just say you have an online ebook or even a presentation similar to this one. You could sell that to your followers. You could even just go into a platform like Shopify or PayPal and set up a shopping cart and put that in your social profiles, the link that is, so people could buy your product again when you're sleeping, which is something that I know I love. So I'd assume you folks watching would love that as well. Affiliate income is another really great option. So this is one of the easiest ones in my personal opinion, because you could show products you already love and trust and just have your audience purchase them from your link. There are lots of websites out there, such as Amazon, that offer affiliate programs. So let's just say you're really loving this t-shirt, you wear it every day, you think it's awesome. You could go to the brand's website and sign up for their program and put that link in your social media bio. If it was me, I would have the link be Jacqueline10 or something along those lines, just something easy. So when people shop at checkout, they would put the code Jacqueline10 in and they would get their coupon, and then I would get my kickback, which could be, a few cents to a few dollars, sometimes more, depending on how expensive the product is. So for example, if the t-shirt's $20, the affiliate commission might be a couple dollars. But if hypothetically it's a crazy expensive shirt or camera or something more pricey, that's, $1,000. The affiliate income could be, $50 to $100, which definitely adds up over time. And then we have just general opportunities. So you could gain clients for your company, you could get, job opportunities, potential referrals, and just kind of get your name out there. So when you are ready to potentially reach out to someone or hope they reach out to you, they already kind of know you and trust you because they've been following your accounts for so long. Alrighty, so there are tons of platforms out there, which I assume you're aware. So choosing the right platform is definitely something to consider. I tell my clients constantly, you don't have to be on every platform to be successful. I'd rather see you, everyone watching, that I'd rather see you be really fantastic on, one or two or three platforms than a little so average on, 4, 5, 6 platforms. Because people who are in your industry may not also be on every platform. So for example, if you're more in the B2B space, LinkedIn would be more appropriate for you, and your potential customers may not be on TikTok. So posting on TikTok isn't going to hurt anything, but your ideal customer may not be seeing the content, so it isn't really going to help them much in the long run from, a money standpoint. Of course, it could be a lot of fun, but if your main goal is to make a little bit of money, I would definitely advise sticking to the platforms where your clients are at or your potential partners, customers are at. So we'll go through these main ones a little and just give you a summary of which ones could be best for you. So Instagram is really great if you have a lot of visuals and you have stories to share and you want to build relationships. it's super easy to send people direct messages or comments. If you want to introduce yourself, just say, hey, my name is Jacqueline. I work in social media. I see you're also on social media. Let's connect and see how we can support each other, or something in that kind of family is something that I would say. Facebook is really great for groups, discussions, and local communities. So that is another really solid option. There's tons and tons of Facebook groups out there that businesses and regular folks can post in, asking questions, looking for recommendations, stuff like that. For example, I constantly am looking in groups in my neighborhood just to see, what's going on, if there's new restaurants, if there's recommendations for, kids' activities, because it really helps me and my family find new things to do. TikTok is awesome for sharing short educational videos and reaching new people. Even a 10-second video has the potential to, impact so many people. So I love that. As stated a few minutes back, LinkedIn is really great for professional services and career-focused content in the B2B sector. So if your ideal target audience, customer, client is a B2B professional, spending time on LinkedIn would be the best option for you. YouTube is great for teaching, just like we're doing right now, tutorials and long form content. So if you want to teach people, how to use a certain computer program, for example, that's a really great way to get your name out there. Because I don't know about you, if I'm doing something new on the computer, the first place I go to is YouTube, because I could follow it step by step and not be completely overwhelmed. Or you could even use it for cooking, or something along those lines. Pinterest is really great for products, guides, recipes, DIY, home, beauty, and fashion. And Reddit is great for learning from your audience, answering questions, and building trust in a helpful way. So I would just ask yourself right now, where do the people that you want to help spend most of their time? And then spend your time on that platform appropriately. So here is what to post without overthinking. So good content focuses on being helpful. So for example, if someone asks you questions regularly that you consider yourself an expert in, make content around that. So if you are really great at putting on makeup, for example, and people always ask you, how do you get, your lipstick to stay on all day? You can make content around that, for example. Or if you're really great at planning activities for your kids, and people always ask you, where should I have my kid's birthday party? You can make content around that. Or you could actually share something from your job or your experience. So I keep using computers as an example, but if you're really great at Excel or Word or PowerPoint, you can make content around that, because there's so many people out there that, really could benefit from what you have to share. Because even though it may seem, a bit simple to you, to other folks who aren't in the space, they may have absolutely no idea. So it can be super helpful if you just go in and explain the process step by step. You can share lessons you've learned over the years from personal, mistakes or setbacks, because we all make them. So sharing how you overcame a certain obstacle could really, really help you. Or you could share specifically how something works more so behind the scenes. For example, I do social media. So I have tons of, friends and family constantly ask me, things such as how to set up accounts, how to take really good photos, what hashtags to use. And from my experience day to day, since I've been doing this for years and years, it will take me 2 seconds to answer them, because I'm already aware of the answer, but having them go out and Google it and research it could take hours and hours. So simply sharing little lessons, how things work behind the scenes, setbacks, could help save people a lot of time in doing their homework, but it would only take you, I don't know, 5 minutes tops to explain because you're already an expert in the given field. So, building trust before selling. People are a lot more likely to buy from someone they trust because, well, I'm sure you folks already are aware, when you trust someone and you feel like you relate to someone, you're a lot more inclined to take their recommendations. For example, if I made a new friend at a party today and they recommended I buy this product, I may not be so inclined because I don't know them and I don't know if they fully understand, my needs and wants from buying a specific product. But if a friend of mine that I've had for years and years came to me and said, "Hey, Jacqueline, I think you should buy this product. I think you would like it," I'd be a lot more inclined to go out and purchase it because I know they know me and I trust that they wouldn't tell me to purchase something that I wouldn't benefit from. So showing up regularly, even if it's hard and you feel like it's taking a bit of time, is really great. Because if people see you pop up over and over in their feed, it's kind of like a friendly reminder. It's like, oh yeah, Jacqueline exists, Amanda exists, Sarah exists. I love what she posts. And when she does have something to share, I'm already aware of her. I relate to her. We have similar, ideas and, style, stuff like that. So I'm more inclined to purchase from her. And being honest about what you know and admit that you're still learning is also great. I really respect and admire when people I follow online admit that they aren't the absolute expert and don't know everything, because I feel like it just gives an extra kind of value of trust, if that makes sense. Because none of us know everything, even if you've been working in a field for 10 plus years, there's always more to know. Things are changing. So not admitting, but just being mindful that, hey, I don't know everything, but here's what I do know, I think is super valuable. And that could be done by sharing real experiences. So saying something like, "Hey, last week I tried this new activity. I had an amazing time. I learned X, Y, and Z, but I didn't get to learn X, Y, and Z yet. And I'm ready to learn that next time in the future. And I'll keep you posted on how the journey goes." Could go a long way. And that could be done by offering to help other people on their journey before necessarily asking for money. And then, of course, you want to communicate, clearly and respectfully. You don't want to be too aggressive because then folks may not be as inclined to trust you and want to work with you later on if they feel there's a little too much pressure. I've purchased tons of courses over the years personally from people that I've been watching for a long time because I feel like their content is really similar to what I'm interested in. So I've purchased a few social media programs over the years that have definitely helped me in a ton of ways. A few of their resources I already kind of knew. So, but it was nice to be validated in what, I did already know. And then they also taught me a few new things along the way. So I really respected that. So here are just a few realistic monetization examples. So you do not need 1 million followers to earn extra money. A small following can 100% lead to freelance and service clients. For example, I'm going to use myself as an example. My following I have is not millions by any way, shape, or form, but I still have a good amount of people or companies, I should say, reach out and ask for supports. They see that I work in social media and I know what I'm doing. So, reading my content and knowing that it is doing a good job also acts as, a confidence booster that I'm helping other people. As a friendly refresher, what we chatted about a few minutes back, you can teach a skill that you use already at work or in your personal life that you're really confident in. and you could help other people, you know, grow and become, just a better version of themselves in that field, whether again it's personal or business. And then you can do so by making one product or providing a service that solves that problem. Just as another personal example, if I wanted to, I could, I don't have one at the moment, but I could make a social media course or a PDF or an ebook and sell that to my audience because I'm in the social media space. So, I haven't thought about that yet. Maybe that would be something I would do down the road, but that's definitely an option. If you're really great at accounting, bookkeeping, finance, you could sell an ebook on, how to be more mindful with your money, how to earn a little extra money through a side hustle, things like that, that people would benefit from, that you're, an expert in your field. So a question I get asked a lot from people in my day-to-day life is how to promote yourself without feeling overly salesy and promotional. I personally don't love when people I follow try to get me to buy something every 5 minutes. I'm assuming people probably relate to that because it's not fun. So I'm a big fan of the 80-20 rule. So what that means is 80% of your content will deliver value and advice with no strings attached, if you will. And then the remaining 20% will be reminding people how they can buy from you and how you can better support them. So you can clearly explain, a certain problem they may be having, and then showcase how your product or service can potentially help them without being overly pushy. And then, of course, use respectful language, give clear information, and invite people to take action if it feels right for them. So a simple call to action you could use could be something along the lines of, if this was helpful, here's how I can support you more. This resource is available. If you feel it would support you, let me know and I'll send you the link, or something along those lines. As you see here from Charlie in the screenshot, she has a link right here in her bio, or she has 3 links, I should say, because you have the main one, and then she has 2 additional links. So you could put a link to your website, to a product landing page, to a booking link where people could book a consultation with you. So you could have a conversation first and give them guidance on what would be a good purchasing option for them. This is great, especially if you have multiple products or services. People may not fully know right away which option would be best for them. So having, a free 15-minute convo, again, it's 15 minutes out of your day, but could potentially get you, a pretty big customer. So that's why I am a really big fan personally of offering free 15-minute consults because it goes a really long way. So I want to see how we're doing for time. Okay, we're right on time. Perfect. So here are just a few examples of different influencers that I follow, and I just think they do really great work on social media. So as you can see, they all have strong bios, and the bio is the section on their profile that states who they are and what they do. And then it has the strong call to action, and then the link where people can shop and learn more, or visit a landing page, or input their email address, sign up for newsletters, or anything along those lines. There are lots of really great platforms out there nowadays that things have gotten a lot better now than they were 5 years ago, where you can make landing pages for little to no money. Of course, there are some free ones that don't have as many features, but then there are other landing page softwares that cost a bit of money, but they're really great because you could customize them exactly to your needs. So you can make, for example, a video of yourself and upload it to the landing page. introducing yourself and letting people know, who you are, what you do, and how you could potentially help them. So that really helps them trust you more before putting in their email or making a purchase. So, investing in a platform that's, $100, for example, could potentially get you hundreds of dollars in return. So at the end of the day, it's, personal preference, but that is definitely a solid option. So there are a few mistakes that, of course, I would love you to avoid. I've made these personally, so I could relate to them. So basically, I would definitely advise not waiting until everything is perfect before starting. Things will never be quote unquote absolutely 1,000% perfect. And I don't want that to put you off from starting something that could really help you in the long term. Let's just say you want to make videos on social media promoting what you do, but you want to wait till you get, your new haircut or your new clothes come in the mail so you could wear your new outfits in your videos, like stuff along those lines, or completing your course or finishing reading this book so you can give insight on that. Because there's always going to be something that could be added to your routine before starting, but you just have to start with what you have and then you could slowly grow over time. Another thing I see really regularly from my clients is they don't want to start filming videos until they master their setup. So decorating their room, in a visually aesthetic way, whether that's getting a new painting, adding a plant, painting their office, getting professional lighting and professional camera. Those are all nice things to have, obviously, but it's not 100% necessary. And those things could definitely slowly be incorporated over time. And then, of course, that's comparing yourself to people with different resources and experience. So, if there's someone you personally follow and love who's been filming content, making content for, 10 plus, 15 plus years, and you love them and want to be exactly like them, that's fantastic to have someone to look up to, of course. But you don't want to kind of put off making your content until you feel like they're on your level or you're on their level, apologies. Because if it took them 10 years, sorry, I'm stuttering here. If it took them 10 years to get to where they are now, chances are it'll likely take another, potentially 8 to 10 years to be in a similar situation. So start with what you have, and then slowly you will grow over time, even if you don't have a clear plan in mind. And then another mistake I often see is giving up before results have time to appear. It could take months and months or even a year to see really solid growth and get really amazing stats from what you're doing online. From personal experiences, I've signed contracts with clients and they're super excited and we post really great content for 3 days and then they come back and they don't understand why they haven't gotten a sale yet, which is super valid and I totally understand. But I have to remind them that it is not a race, and that it takes time to build trust for people to want to buy products or services from you, especially if they're a bit more on the pricey side. So it does take a bit longer than 3 days or even 3 weeks, 3 months to see really good feedback and response. So stay consistent, even if your leaps are a little bit more on the small side, and things will get there. Looking at your analytics is a really helpful way to do that because it kind of validates how much you're growing. So if you think about it, getting one new follower a day, for example, may not seem like a huge milestone. But if you look over, a 100-day period, that's 100 new followers, which is a fantastic goal. So little things like that, changing your mindset in that frame, I always say is very helpful. All right, we have just a few more slides and then we'll have a question section. So I'm excited to answer your questions in just a few minutes. So I want you, everyone watching, to take a few minutes. You can either write this down or think about it in your mind. So I want you to choose one platform that you have learned about today. It could be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Reddit, or any other platform that may not be here. And I want you to write down a piece or a type of content that works well on that platform. So, for example, a short video, a post, guide discussion, an image, anything like that. And then I want you to identify one simple way that the content could lead to income. So whether it's a service, a product, a referral, or an opportunity. So I just want you guys to take a minute or so. Again, if you want to write this down and do this later or think about it in your head, I think that could be really helpful. So if you're in a similar position as me, I love giving personal examples because it's just easier to explain and I know it works. For myself personally, if I was doing this exercise, I would say that LinkedIn would be a really great platform for myself. And I could film or make content in either videos or photos that showcase social media tutorials. So I could film a tutorial of myself setting up an Instagram account via, a share screen. So that way everyone watching who currently wants to be on social media can know how to make an account for themselves. And then at the end of the video, I would just reinforce and remind people if they need any additional support in setting up or running their accounts, I am there to guide them along the way. So that could lead to a potential customer for myself. So of course, that's something I really want. All right. I am almost positive that everyone watching is going to get a copy of this presentation at the end. So again, if you want to really take your time to do this exercise later, you'll have this here as a reminder. So final thoughts. Social media is a tool, not a promise. So when used with intention, it can create tons of income opportunities, whether it's $50 a month, $100 a month, or even potentially $1,000+ a month. It all adds up. So even if you are starting with a more, modest monthly income of a few dollars, $50 today, that could potentially be doubled or tripled over the months. So start where you are and use what you have. And I'm confident you'll see, plenty of opportunities of growth down the line. It also helps build your overall confidence. Sometimes we could, experience a little thing called imposter syndrome and forget just how amazing we are at, what we do and what we know. Because sometimes you could think, oh, I know X, Y, and Z about this field, but everyone knows that it's, common knowledge. But that is not the case. You'd be very pleasantly surprised how many people want to learn what you have to share. It could open new doors for potential, interviews, for example. So if someone has a podcast about finance and you are an expert in finance, maybe they follow your content and want you to be a guest. So on the podcast episode, you can promote yourself and your business and your expertise. So that is just one, small example, but there are so many opportunities out there you may not be aware of right now, but once they start coming in, it's kind of like a wake-up call and thinking, wow, I am amazing at what I do, and people are ready to learn from me. And then, of course, it grows your personal and your general community growth. So the more people you know in your field is typically a really great thing because you can learn from them, they can learn from you. You could help each other, you could refer them to your clients, and then in return, they'll refer you to their clients. So at the end of the day, everybody wins. So if you have something valuable to share, don't hold back, start sharing, and I promise you it will be well worth it at the end of the day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. So now we have, let's see what time it is. Yeah, we have around 20 minutes. So we're exactly where I wanted to be. Wonderful. We have 20 minutes to open the floor for questions and comments.
Excellent.
Thank you.
See,
I
I don't
appreciate it.
I don't see any hands up yet. If you want to raise your hand, just go down to the React button in the menu, and you'll see a bar to raise your hand. There's a first question that was started towards the beginning.
Uh-huh.
It says, "Can some please tell me why whenever we try to earn money on social media, they only ask for PayPal?"
Mm, that's a good question. PayPal is a really easy and affordable platform out there. So that's why it's so popular. There are some third-party tools that you could obviously make purchases from. But I'm almost positive that they take a percentage of the sale, and PayPal's is very minimal. So I would say that's probably why. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Louise?
Where do you see the question?
Yes.
Oh,
I
there we
am
go.
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, thank you. I've just recently completed my master's degree. Okay, my studies in the United States, even though I reside in Pretoria in South Africa. And, the master's degree that I did was not just an ordinary one. It took a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of research. Be it as it may, my topic, there is a question I want to ask about this, okay, because I want to earn an income. A person doesn't just study for the sake of studying. Besides being in full-time ministry, I'm in the parachurch segment politically, in the G20, and also in economic in South Africa, but also in the global sector if you look at the G20.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I did my master's, my thesis title, I just want to share that with you because from there, way forward, I need some help. The title was Navigating Ideological Terrain. That's on the psychological field as well, theoretically. Exploring sociological generalizations and ethical considerations through postmodernism and religion. So there's quite a few key points there. A thesis submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirements with an interdisciplinary emphasis on sociological theory, that's social science and sociology.
Uh-huh.
It's also, I used social psychology as part of my basis, okay, for the specific thesis, and then a call to action. It got me 100% A plus for the
Okay.
thesis and a GPA for 98 subjects, a 93% GPA in the United States of America. But the institute where I studied, they are not USA state accredited. They needed to go to Vision International University, and they just want to give me a degree for theology, which I don't agree with because this is not only theology. No, this has got, besides biblical hermeneutics and so forth, it's got socio-economics in it. It's got social sciences in it, social psychology, interdisciplinaries of that, and a pluralistic society approach in the 21st century. So, it's not just church, if I may
Yeah.
emphasize that with all due respect, okay? But how can I, with the knowledge I have gained, use that and utilize that on social media to be able to have an income besides writing ebook material? We do have a website which I do need to upgrade and update. It is at this stage a global one. It's Africa, the continent, then international ministries plural.org. Okay. So that I just feel that my question is valid, and I hope it's valid. So
No,
that
it's a
I can
wonderful question. Yeah, no, thank you for explaining your background. Of course, I just met you. I don't know you very well, but from what you explained, you seem to be very, educated in your field, which is wonderful. So you
Thank
said you
you.
have, yeah, of course, you have an ebook already, right?
Yes,
So
I do.
potentially, wonderful. So potentially you could offer consulting services in addition to that. So people could first purchase the ebook and then they could sit down with you on a 30-minute to 1 hour phone call and ask you questions about the book or about
Okay.
anything related in that field. So they could get personal advice. And then, of course, you could charge whatever you feel is appropriate for the 30-minute or 1 hour session. If it was me
Okay.
personally, I would give them a slightly better deal on the 1 hour session. So
Yes,
hypothetically,
it's
let's just
much
pretend,
better.
yeah, let's pretend the 30-minute session's $100 for easy math. You could offer the 1 hour session for 175 or even
170.
150. I'm just making up
I
numbers
see.
math, but
Yes,
just give them
yes.
a slightly better deal for them booking an hour versus 30 minutes.
Okay. If it's 30 minutes, how much? It'd be
So let's just
just
pretend again for easy math. If it's 30 minutes, you would charge, $100. If it's 60 minutes, you would charge, like 170, 175.
yes, yes. Thank you for that, because I've been very despondent in our country. I'm not being negative, okay, I'm being realistic. I was very, very despondent, and I just thought, I'm taking off in March, which I did, and I just said, I've worked so hard for this, and for what?
I hope that helps.
So,
Yeah.
yes, but thank you. Thank you for answering my question. Let me just mute my. Let me just mute you.
I think a couple of things that Jacqueline said were, take your time, but you have to have a plan.
Exactly.
And there's those components to the plan to make sure that you have the product or the surface and you're reaching your customers, right? And you're building that connection over time. Like you're saying, it takes probably at least 6 months
Yeah.
to really feel an accomplishment in there, to feel like it's starting to take off.
100%. You said it very well. Awesome. We have time
Oh,
for a few questions. So I'm just gonna call on Timothy if that's okay.
Timothy.
Yeah. Ask to unmute. I think I did this.
Timothy, are you there? Can you unmute your microphone? We can't hear you yet. Sometimes with an unstable connection, you try to unmute and they disconnect from the meeting.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking I could call on someone else if this doesn't work.
Yeah,
Or
let's
type it
go
in
to
the
the next.
comments. Like,
Oh, Timothy, can you talk?
You hear me now?
yes, I hear
Yes.
you. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
I hear you, yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, not anymore.
I'm into.
Sorry, my friend, I can't hear you.
Timothy, we can hear you. But we
Oh,
don't hear anything.
Yes. I'm saying I'm in.
Yeah, you're in the music
You can hear me now?
industry. Yes, I see your comment down
Yes.
below. So yeah, Timothy
Exactly.
typed in, I'm in the industry. So what are the best platforms to market my music? Super great question. Since it is, an audio space or an audio industry, I would definitely recommend TikTok and YouTube for the platforms that would give you the best results. So I'm not sure exactly what you do in the space. If you write music, record music, play an instrument, but you could definitely upload your pieces to YouTube and TikTok so people could easily listen and enjoy what you have to offer.
Now, do you upload samples like 15 seconds of a song, or do you upload the whole song?
Yeah, so on TikTok, I would advise uploading, 10 to 20 seconds, give or take. And then on YouTube, I would upload the full song. And then in the description section, so that little box at the bottom, you would put a very in-depth summary of, what the song's about, or on the other side, potentially even the lyrics. So that way Google will pick up the keywords, and then it'll be easier for people to find it.
On YouTube, I've seen it very like when the musicians are sitting like next to a lake or next to a river with mountains in the background.
Yeah.
When they have like a really beautiful kind of scenery in the background, that really increases the views of their video.
Yeah, you could even use a green screen if that's more convenient for you. So that's not too difficult to do if you have the equipment.
All right, let's keep going on. Nicholas, you're up.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lambert, and thank you, Jacqueline. Well done. Good
Thank you.
presentation.
I appreciate that. Yeah, of course.
I'm just worried about the usefulness. You said how useful you are matters more than how many followers. If you are useful to very few people, how would that generate income for you? For me, for example, if as an accountant, it's only few accountants that I can able to impress. And then how would that generate income? I thought that it was as many followers you have, and then that's when you get more money. So can you explain that?
Yeah, for sure. No, that's an amazing question. I get asked this very regularly, and I often tell my clients I'd rather see them have 50 followers and 30 customers than 1,000 followers and 2 customers, because anyone could follow anyone on social media and never buy from them. They just want to follow them because, they like their personality, they like their style, but what they have to sell just isn't up their alley, but they find them entertaining. I personally follow tons of people I just think are really funny or are really intelligent, but what they have to sell me, it just does not appeal to me. So I would never typically buy from them. But then there are some folks who I follow, again, who have 10, 20 followers, but I find them, very intelligent and I relate to them. So I'm more inclined to buy what they have to sell. That answers your question. Sorry, my friend, I think I lost you there.
All right, I guess we'll now go to Clive.
Yeah.
Clive, go ahead and unmute your microphone. There you go.
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good day, Dr. Lambert. Good day, Becca. My question is about how do you know if someone you have gained the attention of your followers? How can someone, after doing his or her publicity through with the display of catalog online, to know he gains the followers' attention?
How do you know you're getting your followers' attention?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Advertisement was.
Yeah, an easy way to know that is to look at the people who are liking your content and to see who's commenting on your content. So for example, on my personal content I make, I regularly see the same names pop up in the comments and like section pretty regularly. So I remember them. So I know that if they ever see me direct, for example, I know that they're inclined to potentially be a customer because they're already more engaged.
Okay. Next question. How will you receive your earnings from after doing your publicity online? How
do you
can you
receive
receive? Yeah, after your publicity is being done. Like for example, I'm doing the publicity with LinkedIn online, and I've displayed my catalog. I've seen that I have many followers, but now after this publicity will be done successfully, so how will I have my ending or my own income online?
Yeah, so there's tons of options out there that can really help. And again, you don't need a website if you don't see the need for one. A lot of folks that I follow have Facebook booking pages, to Calendly or another similar option. So people get paid for consultations if you want to do something like that. Or coaching sessions,
How will I also build my trust how will I keep my trust with them so closely?
Yeah.
What are the techniques?
Yeah, showing up regularly is a pretty good tactic. So you don't just post every day for 2 weeks and then take a 6-month break. I'd rather see
Yeah.
you post every, maybe 3 or 4 days, but do it regularly. So people will regularly see in your feed or in their, oh, here's a new post from Clive. I really like them. I respect them. So when I'm ready to buy what he has, I'm gonna make the offer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well understood.
Thank you, Clive. Now we go to Andrew. Andrew, if you can activate your microphone. Okay, are you talking? Because we cannot hear you yet. Apparently, your microphone's not sending the sound. Andrew, you can go ahead and write your question into chat.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than trying to take the time to figure out the microphone. Yeah, go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead and write your question in the chat because we can't hear you. Your microphone's activated, but we can't hear it. Okay, go ahead and write your question into chat. Let's go to Rose.
Good afternoon, sir.
There you
Hello.
go.
Every I want to find out in case someone want to engage in a business like travel and tours, which platform will it suit that type of business?
For traveling,
And how
you said?
do you, and how do you attract your audience and your clients? And also, if someone is also having an accounting skill, how can the person monetize that skill through social media?
Yeah, just to confirm, are you a travel agent or you give travel tips?
Yes, so the first question was the travel and tours business. In case you want to engage in something like that, which platform is suitable for that type of business?
Yeah, I would
And
say
also,
Pinterest is a great option
yeah,
and Instagram because traveling is a very popular niche on Pinterest and people regularly go there for general tips and tricks on how to, book hotels, which beaches to visit, that kind of thing. And then of course, since it is so visual, depending, what you're doing on your adventures, whether it's food or, museums, architecture, Instagram is ideal because you could showcase images. And then in the text option, which is the caption, you could give your general guidance on how you support folks. I hope that answered your question.
yeah, but I'm not so clear about what you said.
Yeah, so the platforms I would recommend would be Instagram and Pinterest. Have you used those platforms in the past?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, but the tone is very low, so I'm not hearing you well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I would recommend Instagram and Pinterest for the platforms.
Yeah, I want to know the type of platform that you can use in order to gain more clients for the services.
And there's not necessarily a tool specifically outside of the social media platforms. Basically, you'd have to post on those platforms regularly and showcase why you are an expert in that field. And then people will come to you when they're ready, asking how they can work with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope that helps.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think the connection is that great.
Okay, we ready to move on to the next?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That would be Che. And I wrote a message to Louise that sometimes you can go to like
Hello?
ChatGPT
Hello?
and lay out
Hello,
everything you
doctor?
want to do. and then ask for a plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, can you get me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm sorry that I'm in a noisy environment. I'll try to be fast about it. Yeah,
That's okay.
my question goes thus. What is the influence of algorithm, in setting up such digital platforms, and how can algorithm maintain the longevity of such digital and monetization of the platforms? Thank you.
yeah, the infamous algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm is a really strong tool and it never fails to amaze me. When I got pregnant with my son, I feel like basically within a week, my algorithm completely changed. Before it was more focused on, like clothing and, makeup and interior design and stuff like that, which I personally love. And then again, within a week, I started getting bombarded with baby advertisements, because the platform knew what I was searching up. I was typing in, tips for, an easy pregnancy, tips for sleep, what to eat, that kind of thing. And so it just knew what content to show me. And I was really based on the keywords. So I'll just make that another personal example. If I'm typing in how to eat healthy, I want to find content that's about healthy eating. So if you're looking for tips, you want to add as many keywords as possible so the algorithm can showcase your content to people who are searching. Oh, I'm not sure if you heard me there.
So it's like the content should, like if you're from a different country, the algorithm should see where you're from, right?
Yeah.
So you want to say where you're from, what you're doing, who you're connected with. You want to give the algorithm information about you.
Yeah, because if you're location specific, you want to add that 1,000%. But if your ideal customer is anywhere in the world, it's not as important. So that's something to keep in mind.
And Louise, did you see my message to you? Okay. Who's that? Andrew? Did Andrew go already?
I don't think so.
I think we're waiting for him to write a question into chat. I don't see it yet. Oh, I see your reply now. Copilot. Okay, you use Copilot for that.
Okay, wonderful.
Let's see, an informative presentation. Thank you very much. Tips on how to monetize on social media platforms. Let's see. Let me ask you about presentation, because you have images. How much text do you want to include when you post something?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you mean text in the image or text in the caption?
Like in the caption.
Yeah.
Or even in the image, like you say.
Yeah, no, I'll answer both. So for the caption, typically you don't want to post an entire novel. Folks don't have the need for that most of the time. But you still want to keep it solid, usually at least the 3 sentences, and use words. So I'll use an example. If you're looking in Toronto, just
okay.
Toronto, it pops up, for example, but that would only be based on the caption, if that makes sense. So you want to have those keywords in there if you have a restaurant in Toronto, because then customers will know how to find you. And then for the image, you don't want to be too text heavy, because the algorithm doesn't actually love that. It finds them a little spammy. So if you bullet notes and an image is okay, but you don't want an image to be like a whole novel.
Keywords are really powerful. Would you suggest like developing a list of keywords before you start and always use those keywords over and over and over and over?
Yeah, I wouldn't say always use them over and over, because then you aren't experimenting and you don't know if there's better options out there. So for the first, I'd say 3 to 6 months, I'd experiment with as many keywords as you can, and then study your analytics and see which ones are significantly outperforming the others. And then once you have your top 5 or 10, then you could use those more regularly. And if you're not sure, you can honestly just ask ChatGPT and it should give you pretty good advice.
You know, one thing I'd like to say is that when I was doing my doctoral thesis research,
Mhm.
I created a blog where I was doing my research real time. So I was
Uh-huh.
posting every like every day or every 2 days, something that I was researching or thinking about. And it took about 3 months, and I started to be contacted by these these national blogs in the United States for economics.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then I started to write for many of them. So it took about 3 months, and I didn't realize that people were actually coming and looking at that, but it
Mhm.
created opportunities. But
Yeah.
it took a good 3 months for it to happen.
Not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's actually on the fast side. It could take sometimes 6 to 12 for like really good opportunities.
And what do you think about publishing books like on Amazon?
Yeah, no, that is a really, really awesome option. Or even using just making an ebook online for free is also another really good option because then people could submit their email to receive the book for free, and then you have them as an email subscriber for life. But to go back to your question on Amazon, 100%, I'm all for that.
You know, yeah, we're just scratching the surface of what's really possible out there on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people become game masters in role-playing games,
Mhm.
and they can charge $15-20 a session to many players. So they're making like maybe $60 to $100 to play a game.
Yeah,
And so that's just another way to monetize being on the internet and being with people.
I agree.
And so there are platforms that you can actually become a game master and play those games.
Yeah, no, I absolutely I agree with you.
And what I see is that, like, even in that, that's very popular in the United States and places like Australia and Europe. But when it comes to other parts of the world, there's not like a big community developing online. And someone could be like the first one to really kind of get it going. But once it gets going, it becomes very profitable.
Absolutely. Because to go back a little bit, you could really be anywhere in the world to make really great content. As long as you have an internet connection, like you're set.
Are you going to come back and talk about this?
No, I would love to come back if you'll have me. I had a wonderful time chatting with you all.
What other topic would you like to talk about or expand on this one, or what would you want to do?
Yeah, so to go along with this, we could definitely do a part two. So I could give some more like really specific pieces of information. I could even use like more personal stories of how I got started. So if anyone wants to do something similar, they definitely can.
Perfect. Do you want to give your address, your email address
Yeah, absolutely. I'm putting it on the chat. Can I give my website as well? Is that okay?
on the website?
Can I give my personal website? Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just seeing here, Louise says Amazon, she has found it to be a bit outdated.
I totally get what you're saying. I respectfully disagree though. I've had a lot of clients and friends have really good success there. So it may depend on, what the topic is specifically. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's just pretend you had a specific interest in mind you want to share, but it just isn't really that popular amongst a lot of folks. It may not do as well. So that could potentially be why. Or maybe it's like season specific, so it's just not popular right now, but it may be more popular, in the summer months.
You know, Jacqueline, I see this turning into like a whole series of classes. There's so much to unpack in this topic.
I know, because I wanted to set it so we'd have 40 minutes for the chat and 20 for questions. And I'm very happy we did this in like 38 minutes. So my timing really worked out well.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Claudia because she's organizing this. You're in touch with Claudia. I'm gonna ask her to set you up for a series of classes.
No, wonderful. No, everyone, I appreciate you guys watching. You're all very sweet, and I appreciate the questions.
Because this topic of how to make money off of your work and research online is so critical to success nowadays.
No, I totally agree. If it wasn't for, online platforms, I wouldn't be able to do what I do right now.
And do you find that once you have like a professional presence on the internet, it's easier to find a job?
Oh, absolutely. Because I have a small team here in Toronto, and the first thing I always do is I look them up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn to see what type of content they share and if it's, up the alley.
Listen to that, everybody. Listen to that. You want to have a presence, a professional presence on social media.
Yeah, because I started making content when I was like 18, 19 years old. So it was very new then, because I was like, oh my gosh, what year was that? That was like 2013, 2014. So it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We want you back.
Yeah.
And remember this name, everybody, Jacqueline Baker. When you see Jacqueline Baker giving another class, come back.
Yes,
You know it's going to
thanks for
be
having me. I really appreciate it.
okay. I think that's going to do it. I'm going to allow everybody to unmute their microphones. If I can see where to do that. Okay, here. Everybody, you can unmute your microphones to say thank you and bye to Jacqueline Baker.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a rest of your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Jacqueline.
You're welcome. Okay, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right.
We have the floating balloons of happiness.
I love it.
Okay.
Can I just ask Dr. Lambert?
Yeah.
If I'm an accident on my previous email address I sent, I did it wrong. The last one is the correct one, CEO@AfricaInternationalMinistries.org. Can you please just forward me your details, because I had a forwarding email from your institute, and I wasn't sure whether it was coming from your institute. So
Here,
if
let
you
me
can
go.
just say, hello, Louise, this is me, this is Dr. Lambert, then I at least know it's authentic. That is why I'm asking.
There, I just put my AIU email into chat.
Okay, is that it word?
Yes.
Should I hop off or
Thank
more to
you
discuss?
very much.
What did you say, Jacqueline?
Oh, should I hop off or do you still need me?
No, I think we're good to go.
Okay, so to ask
Thank you so
everybody
much.
else. I'll see you.
Thank
Okay, see you next time.
Here. Bye.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.
Keep in touch, everybody.
Thank
Keep in
you.
touch. And I just put my email into chat. And one thing I really like to do is if you have a course, I like to send you exam questions for your courses. And then you study those exam questions and you answer those exam questions for your assignment in the course. I really like to do that. So if you have a course that you're thinking about, what am I going to write on? What am I going to do? I'll send you questions, and that'll give you the focus on what to study and what to answer. Okay. I want to make sure everybody is learning and progressing, because you're investing your time and your money in this project of education, and we want to be here for you to really support you moving along. So as you can see today, a great class on how to make money online. We need more of these classes. All right, everybody, do you have any questions before we go? Dolores, Rolando, Flores, I see you there. Any questions? You can write them into chat. Raise your hand. If anybody's thinking, how am I going to make money, right? How am I going to make money? Get a plan together. There are many ways to make money, okay? And if we work together, okay, let me just go through a whole list of ideas. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put into chat. I've done this before, but I'm going to put into chat a list of 100 businesses that you can make money from. Let me go ahead and find that. Here it is. Okay. So I just put into chat. Here, I'm going to see if I can mute. How do I mute? I don't know how to do this. Here we go. There. Okay, so everybody, I just put into chat a document on 100 easy businesses. But a lot of those businesses aren't like online social media businesses. Some are. But it'll give you ideas on how to do a business. And remember, you don't have to do the work in a business. You can hire people to do the work. So if you're doing one business by yourself, you'll make so much money. But if you have 5 businesses where you have people working for you, you're going to make a lot more money because you're gaining money off of what they're creating for you. So the idea is to start lots of businesses, and as they grow, hire people to work for you. You'll make more money. Like, I knew a lady who was cleaning houses in Hawaii, and she would charge like $20 an hour by herself to go to a house and clean. But then she started to grow, had more clients, and she started to hire people to pay them $12 an hour. But she would charge the client $20 an hour. So she was making $8 an hour off of all of her employees. So she started working, and during the day, because she was making money off of her employees, she was making $80 to $100 or more per hour because she was hiring people. So by herself, she was making $20 an hour. By hiring people, she started to make $80 an hour. Do you see how that works? So develop a business and then think about who you can hire to work that business, and then you make money off of them. Okay, so I want to keep you thinking about this. Do you have the how to monetize your income on social media from today's class? And you're going to learn marketing through the social media. But you can also have your own business, or maybe many businesses with some employees, and you're marketing them through social media. See how it comes together? So you're learning in this class how to market through social media. But then in other classes, like the entrepreneurship class, you're learning how to start businesses. So, kind of start putting it all together and finding your opportunities. I see a question here. Okay. So you get the idea. Any questions? I really want you all. Arlene, go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Lambert. There is something that I thought about that I believe can be an hindrance. Sometimes people are well equipped with a lot of knowledge that we can share, but at the same time, there's a lack of confidence and belief that it can be done. And I think a lot of times that is where we fall down, because we have it, but in terms of having that confidence, knowing that it can be done, then I would love to see a course done in that regard. How do I develop this confidence? How do I come to that understanding that I have something to give I have a contribution to make, and I can do it.
I would say, from my own experience, about 16 years ago, I started to try to make some videos and then upload them onto YouTube. And I go back now and I look at the videos I used to make, and they're so bad. The resolution is bad, the pacing is bad, there's too much silence in between talking. They're so bad. But you have to get in there and just start practicing. For example, if you're going to go out and talk with people, or go online and do YouTube videos about what you're what you're studying, what you're thinking about, you'll get better, and your confidence is going to rise up because your skills are going to rise. But you have to put in the practice and learn and work out sort of the mistakes. And once you can work through the mistakes, your confidence will just grow because you know you're getting better. And so, Arlene, what do you do? What do you study? What's your knowledge base? What are your skills? Arlene, are you still there? Oh, not there.
I'm still here.
Oh,
I
so
was muted.
what would you want to present on the internet?
The question is not just for me, but for others. But where I am concerned, is something that I know I am going to do, but I have not delved into because there are so many different facets to what I can do. My skills are really in psychotherapy. That's one. Psychotherapy, and
Okay.
that's my focus at AIU. And I tend to work a lot with children more than anybody else.
Like, if you go onto YouTube, you'll see like psychologists who take a
Yes.
particular topic. Like, I know this one psychologist in Canada, she does a lot of videos about narcissism,
Okay.
and she'll have thousands of followers watching her videos. And she'll do a video like every week or 2 weeks. And then she'll also have links below her video where people can contact her to have a one-on-one session of psychotherapy
Okay.
to help them through a bad relationship, right? So she's making some money off of YouTube by people watching her videos. She's monetizing her videos. And then people are contacting her through the YouTube to do one-on-one consultations, whether by phone or by Zoom or in person, right? It could be anywhere in the world. And so anywhere in the world, someone could contact her and say, I need help. So they'll get onto Zoom here and have a meeting, and that person will pay for her time, and then she'll help them through their relationship trouble.
Okay.
And so but remember, you'll need to, if you start uploading videos, make a plan of all the topics you want to cover on YouTube. Make a list. You'll probably need at least 30 videos, and make them about 3 to 8 minutes long, and put some nice lighting behind you, and develop your style. Do you want flowers behind you, or do you want just a black wall behind you, or maybe a certain picture or some words? Think about what kind of style you want to present, and then maintain that style. Like, don't keep changing your background for each video, because you want people to recognize you when they see your video, because they recognize your background. So you want to do something artistic, be consistent with it, and something that's pleasing. Get a good microphone, and then just talk just talk through the video.
Okay.
And then people will start to comment. And maybe your first video, you might find 2 or 3 people see it, right? But then after you've done about 10 videos, you'll see that maybe 10 to 20 people are watching. And then you'll start doing some more videos, and then you'll see 30 people are watching. And then as you keep going, all of a sudden there comes a point where it just explodes, where someone says, you've got to go check out these videos by Arlene Burton, right? And then all of a sudden they spread the word about you, and all of a sudden you'll see 1,000 people watching your videos, like in one day. So it starts real slow, keeps building real slow. And then in one day or in a couple of days, someone spreads the word about you to some large group. And then all of a sudden you have thousands of followers. That's how it happens. And then people will go there and see all these videos that you've done. And they like to go back and look at the other videos in your YouTube account. And that's when you really start to grow. And that's when people start to contact you and you say, oh, please, I need help. How can I set up an appointment with you for a consultation? And that's how it works. But you have to start doing those videos, building them up, and then slowly but surely drawing people in until it explodes. That's how it happens.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lando.
So, make a list of all the topics you want to talk about, whether it's narcissism, addiction, phone addictions, drug addictions, grieving, whatever you want, whatever your specialty is, start with that, something you're comfortable with. And then just start taking it from there. Rose Mensa, do you have a question?
Say, I want to find out, in case you have something that you want to present on social media, and I want to find out, those who look at what you are presenting, do they pay something to you? I want to find out. And how do someone who presents something on social media, like you want to present some educational content, and all those who look at those content, do they have something to pay to you so that you can also generate something out of that presentation that you are making?
Yes. Okay, follow me on this. You have a YouTube channel. People are beginning to see you on your YouTube channel. How do you make money off of that? Well, if you get a lot of people watching your videos, you'll be able to make money just off of the advertising, because YouTube will advertise a little bit of advertising like before your video or during your video. And that advertising time, YouTube will actually pay you money for. That's one way. And then you'll maybe have a book that you sell, and people can click a link below your YouTube video. They can go and buy your book, whether it's on an Amazon link or it's on your own blog. They can go there and buy your book. Or you can also do a Patreon. Patreon, a lot of people hook up a Patreon account with a YouTube account. The Patreon is where people who are interested in your work get a special access. They get special access to special things that you do. So if you have a special interview or a special topic that you're covering or something special, people will pay into your Patreon to have access to that special content. And then you'll have your YouTube content, which is free to people to watch. You'll make money off of the advertising, but if you want you want to draw them into your Patreon account so you can give them extra special attention. And then people will pay, I've seen people may pay $2 a month up to, I think I've seen up to about $40 a month per person, depending on you have like these tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So like if you want to pay $1 a month, you go to tier 1 and these are the benefits you get. If you want tier 2, you may pay $3 or $5 a month and you get these benefits. And then there's tier 3, you can pay $10 a month to get all these benefits. And you may say, okay, $40 a month for tier 4. And with tier 4, I'll give you special consultations, one-on-one consultations. And in tier 1, maybe you'll get access to some material that you've published. But so when they start paying more, they get better access to you. So keep that in mind. You can also hook up a Patreon account with a YouTube account with a social media marketing, TikTok, Instagram, and things like that. So you're marketing through there. You got your YouTube account. Maybe you even have a web page or a blog. And then you have your Patreon to have more direct, intense contact with the people who want to follow you. Are you following me on this one?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of patreon.com?
Can you come again?
Have you heard of patreon.com?
No.
I'm
No,
going
sir.
to put it into chat.
All
I'm
right.
going to put it into chat so everybody can see where this is. There. That's how you go to that's how you get to Patreon. Let me see that. There we go. There. So you can look up Patreon, set up an account, and it's just a good way for people to get better contact with you. Oh, Rosemary. Where'd Rosemary go? Okay. Rosemary, go ahead and write me an email. I'll give you my email, and then I'll look up the answer to your question. Okay, Clive, let's go ahead and get you set up again. Can you activate your microphone?
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So I wish to have more lectures on content creation. I wish to know, content creation will give the marketing a good a good remark. So I need to know how the best way to do your content, to create your content in order to make your advertisement be successful. What are the techniques or what are the best ways you can do to have a good content on social media online?
So what are you thinking about YouTube?
No, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn.
Well, on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
you can sell your book, I think, on LinkedIn. There's really no
Yeah,
advertising.
right now, yeah, I'm doing advertisement with one because I'm working with one company who has an exhibition in Australia. So they are taking me like they are taking my post for their publicity to display the catalog. They have an exhibition maybe next month. So I just want to have more knowledge on how to create the content in, in
What I would
order
say
to
is if you,
publicize
I'm going to go to
on marketing.
YouTube right now.
Or we
I'm going to say,
okay.
create content on LinkedIn for marketing my business. Okay. So here, I'm going to come back. I just went off. here, I'm going to put a link into chat. Do you see that? So I did a search on YouTube for create content on LinkedIn for marketing my business. And then if you click on that, you'll see a list of videos that teach you how to create content. And then you could also say create content on LinkedIn to increase my income or to do direct sales. You know, you just change the search a little bit and then you'll see videos, different videos each time. And each video will be experts educating you about how to do that. And one thing at the university here is you can create something on LinkedIn. If you want to promote your business, you can create a course for that. So that, and your assignment for the course is showing us what you did, how you put it together, and how you're monitoring it into the future. So the course gives you that motivation to make that plan, to study what to do, and then to implement it, put it into practice, and then send us a report on what you did. And by sending us the report, that allows us to give you feedback, and it also helps you learn when you do a report about what you're doing. So everybody think about that too, is that as you put these projects together on social media to make money, to start a business, create an assignment for a course, like a report, an essay, or even just give us a link to a YouTube video that you put up. To me, a YouTube video is more powerful than an essay. Think about that. I prefer students to give me a YouTube video for an assignment instead of an essay.
So which platform did Hello?
Go ahead.
Which platform the school usually use? Is it YouTube video, or this YouTube video is just your own personal you feel like YouTube video is more important than, but which one?
Atlantic International University has a YouTube channel. Just do a search for Atlantic International University and you'll see the channel. And so, and you'll see, I think you'll see all of the past live classes on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can search them right there on YouTube. But that's the thing is you want to do something, because why do I say that a YouTube video is more powerful than an essay? Because if you want to start presenting your work to people don't read essays. They don't know where to find an essay to read an essay. There's nowhere you can really publish an essay where you're going to have a big audience. But if you publish a video on YouTube, you have access to billions of people who can access your video. And then it's a more powerful way to present yourself and your knowledge and your work. So if you can create a YouTube video for an assignment, to me, that is much more powerful than an essay.
Yeah, so let me not just take you long. That the thing is that video is more consuming. Some people will feel like, people now want the easiest way to be aware, and some people will feel reluctance by switching. Like we in the less privileged world, in the developing world, will feel like internet is more expensive and it's a luxury. So we are looking for the best means to the cheapest and the best means to publicize these goods in order for people to be aware. So sometimes if we use the video ways, customers will feel that it's very expensive to be browsing video, and they will spend a lot of that. So those are the things that for my own domain now, I think it's not for me, it's not the easiest way to capture my customer, but it's a platform that might need a little bit of writing before displacing a catalog will carry a
let,
successful advertisement. Yeah.
let me throw out you don't have to use YouTube. You can use Instagram or TikTok or some of the other social media. They're a little easier to access
Okay.
and don't cost like a lot of phone time to use. And you can post up short videos, a minute or 2 minutes, right? Very short videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
very short. Yeah.
what you can do is let's say you're in agriculture and you go around your country interviewing different farmers who are doing different types of agriculture, permaculture, gardening, indoor plants, outdoor plants. Let's say you're going around your country interviewing people on how they grow plants and how they grow
Yeah,
food.
commercial
Right.
agriculture.
So the interview may be like 15 minutes, right? But you can take
Okay.
1 minute of that interview and put just a little snapshot of it, just a little brief content of 1 minute of that interview, say on Instagram.
Okay.
And then with a link down below, if you want to see the whole video, it's available on YouTube. They push on that link and then they can go watch the whole interview. So you make it cheaper to access, but then you still have the larger content waiting to the side. That's just another strategy to say, okay, how can I make it easily accessible to the people in my country? What's the social media that people really like to use? Okay. Create content just for that social media with links to expand the content on other social media.
Yeah, because the more you express the content, the more people will understand. That's it. Because if you just do the writing, they won't see the display, and many people will not understand what is going on. But like you said, if you elaborate the short video, it will give them a better understanding.
And make it look really interesting, right? With some energy. And then they'll think, oh, I want to look at this a little more.
Yeah.
And then they'll go to the next one. And you can have them go to a YouTube video. You could have them go to your website. You could have them go to your Patreon page. There's different links that you can do to take people to different places.
Yeah. But we are working on the standard of living of the society. Places differ. That's the only thing. I'm just talking of the domain where I am now, because right now I'm in Cameroon. But when I was in UAE, things were not like the same.
Right. So you're in Cameroon?
Yeah, right now. But I wish to travel next 6 months.
Do you have lots of restaurants in Cameroon?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Of course. So you can create a web page where you're doing what do they call it? You're doing reviews about each and every restaurant here.
Okay.
And then when you do a really good review for a restaurant, and you can say you can go back to the restaurant and say 100 people have watched this great review. And then you can say, could I eat here for free once a week? Or you could say, would you like to advertise on my channel? And they'll pay you money to advertise. And then you can go to a new restaurant. You could go to a new restaurant and say, I do reviews of restaurants online. And I really like the food here. If you pay me money, I will advertise your restaurant on my social media. And that way you'll start picking up advertising money. It may be just a little bit of money. Doesn't have to be much. And then you do a review, but it's like they'll pay you every week or every month. And then you go around car mechanics. You start interviewing car mechanics and customers of car mechanics and doing reviews of car mechanics. And then car mechanics will start paying you some little bit of advertising money. And then you start going around and talk with lawyers. And then some lawyers will start paying you advertising money. Do you hear where I'm going? You become this advertising hub so that people can learn about what's available in the town. So even when visitors come to your town, maybe they'll look up hotels. They'll say, "Oh, look at the reviews here. He's been around and he says he reviews all the hotels from 1 to 5 or whatever, service, location, whatever." And so hotels will start to give you advertising money. And pretty soon you have maybe 50 businesses paying you money to advertise with good reviews on your website. And what have you done?
Yeah,
It's free.
yeah,
It's free for you to create the account. It's free to you to go interview them. It's free for you to talk with them. And once they say, "Okay, here's some money," you can then start advertising their businesses. Of course, it'll take a little while, but pretty soon you could be earning really, really good money.
yeah, exactly. But what you are saying is, society differs. Yeah, they are not used to of the technological methods. That's why you might do like, for example, I'm a security, even not only I'm working in security, but yeah, security don't use technological tools. There's no CC camera, so the level of technology here is very low. Most people, they prefer the primitive method than the modern method. They prefer to do the body movements that is just like somebody might be near of a hotel. You will not like bother to click online to see the available hotel, but rather than going to ask door by door, where can I find
In many times in my life, I had no work. I had to find something. I became what was called a gopher. That's where you go pick up things like food at the store and take it to the person, or you'll take them to the doctor's appointment. Or one guy, I had one client who wanted to go into the mountains and look for gold. So he paid me to drive him to the mountains, and then he could look for gold. And then you just find whatever you can do, right? Make some
Yeah,
food, sell some food. I've had to make little granola bars. When I was a professor at a university in South America, I would make granola bars and sell those in the morning before I went to class. I'd be out on the street selling granola bars to the students, and I was a teacher. You do what you need to do, but you make it fun, right? So the students would say, "Teacher, what are you doing out here selling granola bars?" So I like these, and you don't find this product anywhere, so I'm making it available for everybody. And I also make a little money on the side. So you make it fun and you get to know the students better. You have some time to talk with them. You kind of have to, and people might say, "Teachers can't sell food out on the street." Well, sure they can. Why not? You're getting to know people. There's other
yeah,
reasons. You're not just selling. You're developing energy of communication by being with people out on the street too. So you kind of have to open up your mind to the different ways of making money and realize it's fun. Make it fun talking with people and sharing ideas. And then if you have a little product there, like a little food or a little booklet or whatever you have, go ahead and sell it. There was one student here a few months ago who wrote a book on a certain type of theology. And she was wondering, how do I make money off of this? And I said, are there markets in your town? And she said, yeah, there are some little markets. Do you think there's room to have another market, like an open air market where people come and buy things, food, clothes, whatever? She said, yeah. I said, create a market around your book so that everybody who's coming to the market has a certain religious tone to what they're doing. So you'll make money off of renting out booths and tables in the market. And then you'll also make money selling your book through the market. And you'll also make contacts with people to maybe go talk about your book in conferences in different churches or different organizations, not only in your town, but in other towns. People are going to come to know you. But the quickest way was to form a market where she could actually develop a tone where people would like to come to and be inspired by the products and the foods and the people there.
To be popular.
Right.
To
And
be
so
popular.
and so what does it cost her? Eventually all she has to do is have a table and put her book on there. And everybody else brings their own tables and their own products and starts selling them. And she makes money by renting out that space. It didn't cost her any money. And all of a sudden she has a business and she's promoting her book. And so that's the thing, is you have to be very creative in how you're going to make money.
Yeah, the problem comes with the opportunity good. So if the opportunity is not there, how will someone rise? So there's a lot of challenge.
Opportunity. How many people live where you are?
Oh, wow, it's just a small country, not up to 20 million people.
20 million people, small country.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much opportunity that is? Do you realize how much opportunity that is?
Maybe I have not realized.
I mean, I was in Chile in South America, and they only had 16 million. Right. They only have 16 million people when I was there. And so I still found opportunity selling food on the street. And then there's always opportunity. There's schools, there's sports activities, there's games, there's entertainment. I mean, have you heard of the sport disc golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play disc golf, where you take a disc and you can throw it really far. There are international organizations that will help you set up disc golf courses in your country, and they will pay the money to put in the baskets, put in the tee pads, and then advertise it on YouTube for you. Yeah. I know where to go. You can just go straight to the Paul Macbeth Foundation and you contact them and say, I want to start a disc golf course in Cameroon. How can we do this? And they'll be great. And they'll go there and set it up. And then it'll be like a sports activity for people of all ages.
The problem is, how will I obtain the full knowledge of carrying out this activity when I haven't gotten I haven't gotten the training? Because you once might not develop something without an example. Someone needs to introduce it.
Clive.
Yes.
You contact the organization, right?
Okay.
They have already set up courses around the world. Mexico, Serbia, all around the world, they're setting up courses.
Yeah.
They're the experts. And you just say, I want to do this. Can you help me do this? What do I have to do? And the experts will tell you what to do. And then you'll have this business of creating a disc golf sport in Cameroon.
Okay.
And hopefully you'll get some of the top pros, the professionals, to go there and do some workshops to teach people how to play. And then you record them. You record the workshops so that you always have them there. So when those people leave, you have those workshops recorded to teach new people how to play the game. And what does it cost
Sometimes
you?
I,
It doesn't cost you
yeah,
anything.
sometimes I say, why do some business people earn more profit than the others? What makes them, it's just why profit differs with business people. Maybe those ones who have more profit, they have invested more capital. So
Think
capital
think
may
about it.
be,
I mean, when I was down in Chile, I saw in the capital city they put a disc golf park in. They put in a disc golf park. There was a big park along the river, and they put in a disc
yeah,
golf course. And remember, this is just a country of 16 million people. And then they started to put on courses in other parts of the country. So it began to
yeah,
grow. And then you have this business of selling the discs. And then you have this business of doing competitions, and then businesses in the community can pay you money for advertising their businesses and give award money to the winners of the competition. You can start a whole industry all by yourself.
yeah, creating business relation.
And it's once you put a disc into the hand of a small child and they throw it, it's the most beautiful feeling when the disc flies beautifully and you're like, oh, I love this. I play disc golf, right? So, and you'll find that that's just another opportunity. There's thousands of opportunities. If you just go around and start talking with people, you're going to realize there's many, many business opportunities.
Exactly, sir. What you are saying is the truth because from my business, what I'm carrying on now, I realize that many people love um, business products or to engage in many activities, but they need someone who will introduce them of that product in a reliable way. Yes, to introduce them in a reliable way, in a useful way. Because the marketing is the way you address your product to the customer to give them the better understanding. So that's another thing I've realized, and which is more important to understand the customer
Well,
to understand you.
well, I think I'm going to talk about you. You have ideas, you have desire, but you also have doubts, right?
Yeah, okay.
You have doubts. People don't really use technology. It's really hard to get out there. There really doesn't seem to be any opportunity. Even though I'm surrounded by 20 million people, I don't see any opportunity, right?
Yeah,
No, you have to change your mind, and you're going to have to put in time and build. But once you build, you'll find that you start making money. That's what it comes down to. And your attitude will change. You'll be like, wow, this is fun. I like talking with people. I like inspiring people. I like getting some projects going. Let's do this. We can have some fun, make some money, and get growing. And that's the attitude you want to take. It's like I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to inspire people. And that's the attitude you're going to work with.
okay.
So with that attitude, you can do anything. You can set up a disc golf course. You can set up those little miniature golf courses. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've been to UAE before. I've been
Now,
to
that would, doing that would cost you more money because to buy a golf club and golf balls and put in those little holes and everything, that costs a lot of money to build that. But a disc golf course is actually very cheap, very little money. And you could actually rent out the discs so people can come to play and you'll say, okay, for a little bit of money, you can play with these discs. When you're done, just bring them back. So you can, you can take something from them as collateral in case they don't bring them back, right? So that's what you do. And so you'll have all these discs, and then people will come, and you can have the discs. If you want to be real cheap about it, just have a bicycle with a basket behind the bicycle. You set up a disc golf course, and out of the little basket behind the bicycle, you're renting out discs so people can play. And then they come back, and they say, "Oh, that was a lot of fun. I'll be back." And then they come back and they say, "Oh my God, I did the course in 2 less throws or 3 less throws. I'm getting better. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Come back. You're going to be a pro here, right?" You keep them motivated. And so, you have a bicycle with some discs and you're making money. And if you don't want to if you don't want to do the work, you hire somebody to rent out those discs for you.
Okay. Because this is very important. It doesn't have an age limit. Any person with any age can do this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people in their 80s start the sport. I've seen little children of 3 years old start the sport. Everybody. I mean, it's a sport that everybody loves.
Everybody can do it. Yeah.
It's more fun than real golf, where you have that stick with that little ball. It's more fun because you can throw the disc in so many different ways. It'll go far to the left or far to the right, and you can really control how it flies. So it's a really fun sport. And it's a sport that's just growing. It's just starting to grow. So many countries really don't have it yet. But in the United States, it is like the biggest growing business. And in Europe and in Australia and in parts of Asia, it's just going crazy. So if you can get ready and be like the founder of disc golf in Cameroon, you'll make money. And here, I'm going to put it up into chat right here. Paul Macbeth Foundation. Paul
I'll be glad to have a connection.
Macbeth Foundation. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put into chat here the link. Whoop, that's too big. And just give them a call, write them an email.
Yeah.
Let me get this again. There we go. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to put this link up into chat. And then I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
Here, let me see here.
Yeah, I see Paul Macbeth Foundation.
Yeah, let me go ahead and show you here. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the website. Here. Make this smaller so you can see it better. Okay. You can share disc golf with the world. Together we can change lives and transform communities by making disc golf more accessible around the world. So you have these different companies that make discs. Discmania, Latitude 64 down below, Ledgestone, PDGA, UDisc, Uplay. These are companies that would give you the tools to create discs. So you can see that they're creating discs, there's creating courses around the world. And they just need you to be the person in Cameroon to receive the money so they can expand disc golf around the world.
Yeah.
Just contact them. Here's the contact button up here. Put your name, email.
Okay. Is that the direct email?
Yeah. And so what would you like the Paul Macbeth Foundation team to know? Just tell them, I live in the Cameroon. We don't have any disc golf here. And it would be wonderful if you could help us set up some disc golf courses. And then all of a sudden they set you up in business. It's that easy. It's that easy. Clive,
Yeah.
anybody here, you're listening, here's a huge business opportunity. And it's
Dr.
fun.
Lambert,
And it's
Dr.
fun.
Dr.
Okay.
Lambert,
Okay,
but
sir.
at the same time, we have to make sure that we have land space for such.
Exactly. And sometimes it just takes an open field. Because the park I play on is very small. It only has 4 baskets. Right? It has 4 baskets, but there's different ways to reach each basket. So it's a very small park that I play in with only 4 baskets. Usually there's 9 baskets, but my park only has 4. But there's different ways to reach the baskets. And so it makes it a little different. So there's actually 9 holes on the course I play in, but there's only 4 baskets. So there's 9 ways to play with those 4 holes. So you don't need much room. You only need maybe a hectare or 2, at least. And then, so if you can find an open lot in a community, or even on a farm, wherever you can find space.
No, for
Let's say,
space, I have space. I have space.
Yeah.
Father is a traditional leader. We have too much space, but how to develop this space? That's what I'm looking for. That's why I need more knowledge in the future
That's why
to know how
you contact the Paul Macbeth Foundation, and they will say, do you have a place to put the course? And you'll say, I have some ideas. Can you help me figure out which is the best place? And they'll say, well, send us pictures of these different places and tell us how easy it would be to use this space for disc golf. So you take some pictures and you say, well, this one is a farm. And so we would just have to work with the farmer to use the space for the disc golf course. Okay. And this other one here is a park in town. And this other one here is just open land. And they'll say, okay, I think we can work with this one. And they'll help you decide what to do. And they'll say, that's small enough that you may only need 3 baskets. But with 3 baskets, you can still have a lot of fun. Seriously, you can have a lot of fun. There's discs for throwing really far, and then there's discs for throwing really short, like within 30 feet, like 10 meters. Those are putting. Those are discs for putting. You can have putting contests where everybody comes with their putters and tries and sees how many times they can putt with the least amount of throws. And then you can have a business in town advertising the competition and giving you some money for the advertising. And you can start really small and have a lot of fun and grow. Anybody here, any town, whether you're in a big city or in a small town or in the country, you can do this.
Yeah, it's a nice business.
Yeah.
It's a nice sport. Yeah.
And the little kids will come and they'll start playing. You do age group competitions and they get so excited. Wait till you see the look on a little child's face when they throw the disc perfectly for the first time and it flies beautifully. Oh, and their face just goes, "Oh, look at it fly!" Right? They're hooked. They
What's
love
the
it.
material in this ball? Is it an iron or is it a plastic? The material
It's
for the ball, for the disc ball,
plastic. So
plastic.
there are different
Glad to
types of
hear.
plastics. There are cheaper plastics, more expensive plastics. There's a lot of different types of plastics people use now. If you rent out discs, I would suggest using higher quality discs, higher quality plastic. Because if you use lower quality plastic, the disc is going to get beat up really fast. So you want the higher quality maybe not the highest quality plastic, but a good quality plastic. And just contact the Paul Macbeth Foundation and say, I'm in Cameroon and we're looking for something to do, and I heard about disc golf and it sounds really interesting and I think we could have a lot of fun. How do we start exploring the possibility of bringing disc golf to Cameroon? And maybe nobody goes there, but maybe they'll just send you they'll send you a couple of baskets. I don't know. Let me see if you can see this. Let me see if you can see this. So you see right there? Let me see. You want to see a basket? It's a metal thing with chains. It's a metal thing with chains on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. See that basket?
Yeah.
It's just like a metal ring with some chains coming down into a basket, and then a pole that you're going to put into the concrete and into the ground. That's all you do. And they'll send you those baskets. You just get some concrete, put them into there, right there. You just put those into the ground and you have your course, you start playing. It's that easy.
Okay, those are the discs that the children
Yeah. And you'll see that there's actually baskets you can move. You just set them on the ground. You don't put them into concrete. You just set them on the ground. And if you want to, you move them to a different location. So you could actually play disc golf with one basket. You set the basket up in a certain area and you play to that basket. Then you move the basket to another area and you play to that area. Maybe you have to go around trees or bushes or up and down hills. But you can move the one basket to different areas. You may only need one basket. Keep it really, really easy.
But in the Western world, have they started?
Oh, I can't hear you all of a sudden. I lost your voice.
Yeah. Are they fields that they are built to carry on this game? Like a big stadium with spectators, cheers like that.
As you can see, look at these pictures. Everybody's just out in, just in a forest, on a farm. Here's the police. There, it's just here. These kids are next to a river, a little plot of land next to a river. And there's all these different places. You just need a place to play. You just need a place to play. So you go around and find some open space and talk to the person if they can give you permission to set up a course. It's that easy. Just everybody, think about it. Write to the Paul Macbeth Foundation and ask them if you can set up a disc golf course. And then you'll set up the course. And then when you'll talk around town saying, everybody, we're going to set up a big course. You make it into a big celebration for the community. And then on that day, they will come and actually build the tee pads, put in the baskets, and everybody's watching, getting ready, maybe practicing off to the side. And then all of a sudden, okay, everybody, the course is ready. Let's go. Who's going to throw out the first throw? And, it becomes this big celebration. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts throwing because it's all, it's like everybody's going to play now. And it becomes a big party. but you've got a business.
Yeah, of course, of course. Development starts from a day. So they say Rome was not built in a day. It takes 100 years before. So everything
Exactly.
starts yeah.
And think about it as a side project in your life right now, that maybe it only takes a few minutes every day to write the email, maybe go out and talk with a few people to find some space to play. Just give it like 5-10 minutes every day, and maybe one day you'll have to go out for a couple of hours to look for a space. It's not going to take a lot of time.
Sir, hello.
Hello?
Uh, this, this website, how will I have them after this session? I wish to all these websites that you have written, you have put on the program. Because I
So
know
you're
after
wondering,
this,
you mean you're wondering how to find these websites again?
yeah, after
Well,
I need to.
anybody here, I'm going to put my email into chat. Just go ahead and email me and ask me for information, some business ideas. But I'll tell you one thing, this disc golf business is a really good opportunity.
Edward,
Yeah, Edward at AIU.edu. That's me.
Okay, sir.
And yeah, there's lots of other opportunities. I know of lots of ways to make money on the internet, and these organizations that will actually build your business for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need the link for someone to develop my creativity. Yeah. Because naturally I'm a leader in nature. I'm a leader. My father is a leader, a traditional leader. So I have that administrative skills. I have the leadership skills by nature. So, and I have that business personality. I'm just looking for someone to develop all this experience in my life.
Clive, write an email to the Paul McBeth Foundation. They are people just like you and me. They're people just like you and me. What should I say? I mean, these are people who just grew up having fun, right?
Yeah.
These are ordinary people just like you and me. And they want that their job is to help you. They're there to help you start a business. So contact them and say, I live in the Cameroon and I would like to start a disc golf course here. How do we do this? And then you sign your name and wait for their reply. It's that easy. I live in the Cameroon. We would like to have a disc golf course. How do we do this? Thank you. Bye. And then let them contact you.
Yeah, each project starts with an initiative. So if our initiative will be successful, then from there we do the planning.
Right. Exactly.
After that, execution.
But they'll contact you and say, do you know how to play disc golf? Where did you hear about it? Why do you think disc golf would be good in Cameroon? They want to get you thinking too, so that you say, oh, it would be fun. I haven't really played because I don't have a disc, but I've seen it on the internet and I think it would be a lot of fun to play. but I haven't played yet. So you can tell them, be honest with them and say, I haven't played yet, but I would really love to get the community involved in this. You have to show some excitement, some energy. You have to show some willingness, some desire to get this done. They want to see that. They want to see somebody who's going to be like, I really want to do this, because they're going to be putting in a lot of effort to support you. So they really have to feel like you want to do this.
And believe me, if they bring it here, people will like it. That's it.
Oh,
Because if they bring it here, I know how to persuade my people. They will like it. Yeah.
yep. That's the idea. And then, long-term planning would be that as disc golf becomes more popular throughout Africa, let's say, in many different countries, long-term planning would be that now you build a factory to produce the discs, and then you start selling the discs around Africa with logos, with because you can take a disc and then you print on top of the disc a picture and some words. So you can do a lot of special discs for different countries and different images from people's own culture. And that's when you become, that's when you have a big business. And they'll help you build that too. Okay, Clive.
Yeah.
Let's go to Clavine.
Thank you,
sorry,
Dr.
Clavine. I wanted you to unmute.
Okay.
Go ahead, Clavine.
Dr. Lambert, just one quick question I have. Are they the only organization that can assist you in building a business?
You mean, are you talking just about disc golf?
No, not in any other area other than disc golf.
Oh, no, there's lots of other businesses. Lots of businesses.
So, is it possible you can probably email me some of the businesses names that I can probably make contact with them?
Yeah, I would have to get on.
Or I message you through your email that you sent in the group in the chat, and we can discuss further on it.
There are some businesses that would take a little bit more investment of your time to build. There's role-playing games, which is another business that's like expanding around the world really fast, but it hasn't really gone to Africa yet. What country are you from?
Guyana.
And so you would need to develop. It takes more investment of time to teach people how to play that game. But that game has huge financial potential.
Okay.
But it takes more investment to get that one going. I know in South Africa, there's a couple of groups playing. There's some good people who are on the internet promoting from South Africa, but I haven't seen people from anywhere else in Africa yet.
Okay.
But they're making money, but other people can make money. I actually, you have to write stories for these games, and then you play through the story. So some of the other students from Africa that I've had in the past have written stories, and then they've been able to sell those stories to some people who are running games. So I've actually had some students make some money by writing stories for those games. Let's see. Other businesses, there's cosmetics. There are like making soaps, shampoos, lotions. There are, sports, different entertainment activities. There are games. There are other businesses for art, where people go to a certain place and they learn how to create art.
Yeah.
And then you start selling their art through the business. So you're teaching them how to make art, and then you're selling their art through the business. There's cooperatives where everybody has a different skill, product, or service. So you have a cooperative with members. Maybe one member is fixing cars, another member is painting houses, another member is tailoring clothes, and another member is cooking food, and another member is doing something else, right? Everybody's doing something different.
Yes.
But when, let's say I'm painting a house, and that's what I do as a member in the cooperative, but I need like two or three other people to help me. So I find some other members in the cooperative to come and help me, and I'll give them a portion of the money that's paid. And then they get paid as members of the cooperative for helping me in this particular project within the cooperative. And then maybe you have one person who's tailoring clothes, but they don't have the time to like transport the clothes back and forth, or pick up the clothes or drop off the clothes. Then they pay somebody who's a member in the cooperative to go do that work. So it becomes like a cooperative where people employ each other to get more work. And that creates more money for everybody in the jobs that they're doing. And that's something that you can start right now. Is that because you have people around your community that have different talents, making clothes, cooking, fixing cars, fixing bicycles, fixing eyeglasses, whatever tools they have, whatever skills they have, they become a member of this cooperative, and they all start working together to do the work. And so when somebody doesn't have enough eyeglasses to fix, they say, I'm available if anybody needs me to work. Oh yeah, I need you to go pick up something for me. They can make a little bit of money right there with another member of the cooperative. So it becomes like this. The cooperative is a great way to increase the work of everybody so that you get involved in different projects. That's a cooperative I developed in Hawaii I developed that about 14 years ago with the state of Hawaii, so that when immigrants came to Hawaii, they could pool their resources and their skills to work together to make money. So that's a cooperative. I know how to put that cooperative together because I did it.
Okay, thank you.
So anything that you feel you would be good at, just contact me, and I'll find some businesses that may want to set you up in Guyana. Okay.
Okay,
All right, everybody. I think that'll do it.
Thank you.
I want you all to make money. Because when you make money, you're happy and you have happy customers. You want to make people happy? And that's part of life, is making money by making people happy. I mean, you could have a disco or a bar, right, where people go and get together and listen to music and talk and dance. Someone's making money off of that. And you could have a sports activity. People come together, play sports. People are rooting, saying, hey, go, 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 right? People are making money off of that. So these are things you want to do, and there's money there to support you. So we just have to get you to make your plan and get started. Make a good plan of who you're going to contact, how you're going to put this together, and just start. So like you say, Clavine, do I say Clavine or Clavine? Oh, try that again. Clavine or Clavine?
Clavine.
Clavine. Okay, so just contact these businesses, say you want to expand, and then you may have to buy some of their products. Like if it's cosmetics, you may have to buy soap making materials and things like that. But there's a lot of ideas I'm coming up with right now. There's so many ideas I have. I want to hear from you what you're interested in, and then we'll take it from there, okay?
Okay. The thing is, I am dealing with food. I'm doing the catering business, but I need a little help in knowing how to grow my business. And on this platform, I've learned a lot, and I know there is more that I can be taught to me. And along with my food business, I would normally do embroidery and make nice little towels to cover food and these things. So I'm a person who like to push myself to learn more, and in whichever area I can probably know something more extra that can help to bring in extra dollars. I'll be grateful if you can help me with that. And when you mentioned the soap making and the cosmetics and these things, they sound so good. Sorry
Now,
about the noise, I'm on the road.
do you own the school?
No, I don't own a school. I'm doing the catering is food. It's a side job, a little side hustle. I
Okay.
don't have a restaurant, but I'm working towards that.
Like
Getting my own.
where I live right now, I can go to the store and you'll see a project or a little piece of art, maybe a basket or a painting, and there'll be a little tag connected to it and a little string with a picture of somebody from any country, right? And it'll show the picture of the person who made it and a description of who they are. So, for example, you may find a piece of art, or you may find let's just say a piece of art, or maybe soaps from somebody who makes these in Guyana. And then there's businesses that will take that product and sell them in the United States through many stores.
Okay.
And the tag of the picture of the person, their name, their age, where they're from, and maybe some special things about them. And that's how they market the products. Do you hear where I'm going? So,
Yes,
I mean, I actually just have to, there's a store like up the road from where I live. I could go there, find out what business that is, and you can contact them and see if people in your community can make items for them to sell. And then you be the broker where you get them all together and then you ship them off. So you would have a business of people making those, and then you're supplying the pictures and the information about who's making those, and then shipping them off to the United States to be sold around the United States.
Okay. That's nice.
And you'll just show them pictures of things you can make there.
Yeah. With what you said about the little tag, that's a great idea. That's something that I can start doing, so at least people would know who made it and something about me. A little, it doesn't have to be anything long, it should just be like a little short story.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, everybody, we should go now. I'm going to go ahead and stop. You have some good ideas. You have my email. If you have any questions, just contact me, okay? All right. Bye-bye, everybody.